Decent, respectable people are tucked up in bed. For the rest of you, here's OTT.
Hello, sorry to disturb you. I was wondering if I could use your phone. Every telephone in the area has been vandalised. It's ever so important.
Oh, dear. Yes, help yourself. There it is.
Thank you very much. Thanks very much.
Anytime.
Good evening. The usual, quite pathetic attempt at doing that. Oh, X, Y, G. I think by the time we've done about 13 of those, we'll still be absolutely nowhere near. Good evening. You join us here live at just after 11:15 at the end of a week when a leading educational journal said that only 40% of the nation of England could do arithmetic and the other 92% were absolutely hopeless.
Shut up. What's the matter? What do you want, comedy? And in a week when the government threatens a big clean-up in sex shops, we ask, will they replace G-strings with J-cloths?
And in a week when it's reported that unemployment is finally at 3 million, Mrs. Thatcher denies it and says it's just a rumour put around by a load of people with no jobs.
And in a week when the Daily Mail posed the question, do we take sex too seriously? And got 24 million replies in extremely shaky handwriting.
And in a week when Barry Manilow finally found an English hotel that suited him.
Well, there you are, Mr. Manilow, the double bed, the best grand piano in our little town. I trust everything is now to your satisfaction. Good night. Thank you, Mr. Manilow.
I remember all my life raining down as cold as ice. Shadows of a man face the
There you are, didn't they both look nice? And at the end of the day, this is when we had hoped that Gary Newman might drop in on the programme. But we've not heard from him so far. It's time for us to go on from the sublime to the digestive system, hot from Circus Lumiere, those pioneers of bodybuilding from the inside. Will you please welcome Octavo and Philippe?
And now tonight's main attraction, another marvellous bunch of lads doing their own live musical thing. A name on everybody's lips. I wrote it down. Coventry 66843, Topless Massage Parlour, Ask for Lolita. Funny name these bands have, no, I don't...
could tell until you fingered me. We make a right impression when you hold me tight. Wait for a break, my lucky charm. Things are looking up all right, all right. Oh, to taste the lips of me love tonight. Oh yeah, I want to know so much. The way it feels when you find out there's a fire in it. The way you squeal when you get it. Some guys have all the luck. Some guys get all the break. Oh, I get to roll my dice. Ain't it nice? You take me in the kitchen and we make my body Some guys have all the luck. Some guys get all the fun. Oh, I get to hear you talk, see you walk. Ooh, take me in the walk and let your luck begin to
Cheers, Robert.
Did you like that? I thought you were having a nut.
Say hello to all the people. But now, for those of you who like nothing better than to settle down in front of the fire with a good book, we take a look at this week's Look at Literature. Good evening and welcome to a Look at Literature, the program in which each week we feature extracts from the classics chosen by my guests. And my guests this week, with their choice of their favourite literary passages, are the Reverend Bell from Norfolk. Hello. Professor Bennett Jones of St Mark's College, Cambridge.
Good evening.
And Dr. Simon Fletch, Senior Lecturer at Suffolk University.
Good evening.
We begin with you, Reverend Bell. What piece have you chosen?
Well, it's an old favourite of mine, but I do feel it still carries a relevant message for us all today. And there was a peace and a calm over the land of Canaan, and the people were glad and saw that it was the work of a mighty hand. Therefore did they rejoice and sing for 20 days and 20 nights. And on the night of the 20th day, Hebediah went unto Jemima his wife, and laid his head between her heaving breasts, and did put his hand
Yes,
down...
yes, well, thank you. Thank you very much, Reverend. Perhaps we could now hurry on to you, Professor. I understand you've chosen a piece of Shakespeare from his play Measure for Measure.
That's right, Act 4, Scene 2.
Very good.
When it lay fallow, smoothed in dust, ignoble passion turned to lust, and from his goodly, wholesome thighs came forth his manhood of great size. And finding bended, willing game, he plunged himself into her frame. With heaving buttocks, strong intent, they thrust and ground till all was spent.
Marvellous, indeed. Beautiful. Yes. Now, is there anything particular that you like about that passage? The metre is very striking, is it not?
Yes, indeed, the metre is very striking. And indeed the language. But most important, I think, is the imagery. The image of those two bodies thrusting and grinding away at each other. I mean, one can almost see those heaving buttocks.
Yes. Well, quite thank you.
And pause came forth his manhood of great size. Again, conjures up a marvellous image of this enormous...
Yes. Well, I think we shall have to leave it there. Dr. Fletch, you've chosen a passage from...
Lady Chatterley's Lover.
Oh, no.
By D.H. Lawrence.
Oh.
Laying there, eagly spread-eagled...
Yes, right. Well, I think...
No, please, let me continue.
Oh, God.
Laying there, eagly spread-eagled on the lawn, was Ruskin, the neighbour's cat. He blinked serenely, dazzled by the sun. It was shining brightly on the little fields where the fool's parsley grew foamy, where the currant blossom hung delicately in the greenish twilight of the mowing grass, and where David and Emily lay bonking away like ski
Yes. Well, I'm afraid that's all we have time for
Their
this
sweaty
week.
bodies were thrashing away like pistons
Yes. So it's good night from
as
me.
they groped and fondled each other's dangling bits.
Thank you very much indeed. Well,
The
that's
sun cast
yes.
up silhouettes on the grass, so that every shadow were bonking, and it seemed that nature itself was in total harmony, bonking away like filio. Everything looked and played and was bonking.
Say, that girl, she's wearing...
No, she isn't wearing.
She is.
She isn't.
She is, I tell you.
She isn't.
Good God, she isn't.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Bottom of the World, the ever popular trans-global quiz show that always starts before the compy is completely ready, and where we always try and get together some of the cleverest people in the world to see if they can bump start a completely knackered old Rolls Royce. And tonight, through the wizardry of electronic technology, we should be able to link up via satellite 23,000 miles up there in space. We're linking up live with Paris in France. Hello, good evening. That should be Fifi for fun. Fifi, is that Madame or Mademoiselle? Mademoiselle.
Oh, it's a madame. I lost my Roselle one night in the Bois de Ballon. It was magnificent lover, I seem to remember.
Want to explore that, Madame Firm. Let's meet the others from London, England. Let's say hello to British contestant Mr. Hootie Elbow.
All right, Eamon. It's nice here, isn't it, wherever I am?
Yes, very nice, Mr. Elbow. And from Botswana, will you please welcome Mr. Joshua Yarlog.
Hello, Eamon, my friend. Hello. Thank you. Eamon, is it okay if I just say hello to a few friends of mine who might be watching?
Nice and brief, please, Mr. Yarlog.
Okay. Okay, boys, lay off the banana cocktails. Katanga.
Okay, let's get straight on with all the action. Madam for firm, who or what is Alcatraz? Take your time. Don't take too much time. This evening in an ideal world. Well, perhaps we can leave that for a moment. Mr. Elbow, can I ask you a question?
Well, just a minute, Eamon. Can I just tell you that, I don't know if you know this, but I'm clairvoyant. And I can not only tell you the question you're going to ask me, but I can also tell you the answer. Now, the question you're about to ask me, in the 1924 Test match in Sydney against Australia, what did the ice cream seller wearing green shorts and a yellow red striped jersey say to the fielder at deep third man? And the answer is, it's nearly 3:20.
Well, that's quite remarkably close. The question I was going to ask, in fact, is what is the capital of Austria? And the answer would have been Vienna. So never mind. I'll give you 3 points for being English.
Is it present in South America?
No, it's not, but you're getting warm now. Yarlog Africa, can you complete this exquisite verse by William Wordsworth? I wandered...
Lonely as a cloud, escaping from the madding crowd. A snake came by as I took a nap, crept up my skirt and shouted snap. Okay.
That's a very good effort, Mr. Yarlog. There were apparently 2 versions of the Wordsworth original.
Is it a South American antelope?
What? No, it's not. It's not
Is
a
South America in the answer?
Well, no, it's not, but it doesn't matter. It's not your question.
Yes, but I want to help her. I think she's very nice.
Well, we normally have a question for each... I'd really like to cover more than one question.
Is it the capital of Bolivia, that?
No, it's not.
Has it got anything to do with underwater
No, it
chicken
has.
sexing?
No, it hasn't got anything to do with...
Sorry about that, Eamon. Jungle fever. Okay.
How about nanny goat ironing?
No, not nanny go downing. I think we can possibly try and get off this because tonight, Ralph Richardson, actor, author, philosopher, former Hell's Angel, you thought you were here to decode the program controller's moped, but in fact you were wrong because tonight, Ralph Richardson, that's it. Sorry about that, I picked up Wednesday's script there. Sorry about that, Sir Ralph, if you're looking in. I hope that hasn't spoiled the surprise for you next week.
Is it an equatorial rainforest?
No, it isn't. Africa, Yarlog, come back to me. Can you tell me who is generally thought to be the leading source of inspiration to modern impressionists?
Ah, that's easy, my friend. It's my old friend Ken Dodd. By Jove, Mrs. By Jove, Mrs. It's discombobulating. What a lovely day, Mrs. for running up to Eamon Andrews, sticking a banana up his trousers leg and going, Eamon Andrews, this is your fight. Okay. And this is me. Somewhere, Kilimanjaro, Tetsy fly, Angola, Bulawayo, Katanga. Okay, Katanga.
Well, Mr. Yarlog, that really is a quite remarkable answer. The answer I hoped for, in fact, was the French painter Claude Monet, but nevertheless, it was very close. Let's have a look at the final score.
Is
now.
it a cheese sandwich?
No, it's not a cheese sandwich. It's a lovely...
An island of San Francisco.
Well done, San Francisco. You go on to the finals. Thanks all those of you who've watched us all around the world tonight. Good night from us all over here in London who joined us live tonight. Good night from everybody who's linked up with us tonight in Paris. Good night live from Botswana in deepest Africa. From all of us here to all of you watching us all over the... No, it's not. From all of us watching you out there. Good night.
I say, that girl, she's wearing...
No, she isn't wearing.
She is.
She isn't.
And I tell you, she is.
She isn't.
Oh, you're right. She is.
But I'm not.
Nor am I!
Well, there you are, three of the best comic minds there in show business.
Well, in my mind.
You didn't make that, Tarrant.
I did, I was there, no problem.
Okay.
Why are you sitting there looking like Chief Sitting Bull? What are you supposed to be?
What do you mean, Chief Sitting Bull? I'm African ting and ting.
If you remember last week, we had Gillen here, and they included their balding colossus of a guitarist, John McCoy, who suddenly halfway through the first number, not a bad judge, took off up into the air. We promised to give you a rather specially signed Gillen picture double album if you could tell us how much he weighed. There he is, swinging away again. The answer, in fact, is 118.5 kilos.
And the closest was from
Great
Geraint...
shaven-headed fool, look at him.
The closest answer was from Geraint Roberts of Lodge Vale Park, Chirk in Wrexham, with 118.3 kilos. God damn, that boy is heavy.
Ah, the drinks are right, thank you very much. It's lovely.
Fantastic.
The other thing we got to do last week, we asked you to... The other thing we got you to do last week to stretch your tired late-night brains was a little exercise in limerick writing. We had a marvellous response, really, in quantity, if not in quality.
Yes, I think most of them were written down the pub on a Sunday lunchtime. The first one we asked you to complete was, there was a young fellow called Mark who went for a drive in Hyde Park. He got lost in the fog.
And we had lots of replies, most of which seemed to have Mark... You thought you caught me napping there, didn't you? Most of which seemed to have Mark Thatcher. It's almost peculiar, this. All these things with Mark Thatcher, who married off to Princess Anne. I think most people were writing about the wrong Mark altogether. But our favourite came from Jay Downs from Renfrew, who sent in, there was a young fellow called Mark who went for a drive in Hyde Park. He got lost in the fog, hit 14 cars and a dog, and said it was Emerson Down.
Yeah. And, wonderful.
And that was one of the better ones.
Yes, oh. They were terrible. And there was a story last week, I don't know if you remember, there was a story last week of a somewhat sheepish... no, these teeth don't break him in for our dog. But there was a story last week of a somewhat sheepish Prince Philip going astray in a light aircraft and causing a certain amount of panic amongst traffic controllers. That's right, the one we liked most had a certain disregard for the niceties of metre. It came from a lady called Sue Catlow from Woodhouse Eaves up there in Leicestershire. A prince who lives in the Mall went up in a plane with a pal. As a plane passed close by, he leapt up with a cry, those bloody reporters follow me everywhere. Why can't they leave me alone? I've a good mind to write to the Queen. Oh! So I thought it had a certain... Marvellous poetry, this is. And last and probably least was this one from, hang on a minute, Ron Maxwell, Eccleshaw. I can't read the autocue again. Shut up, this is live television. And it's from Staffordshire, who completed our third one about Michael Foot like this. There was an MP called Foot who one day found the Oxfam shop shut. She's done it once more, that woman, he swore. It's another government cut. Thank you, okay. Sit in.
They'll all be getting CB radios and bits and pieces, OTT T-shirts and things. I think it's down there for another 5 minutes, you. This bloke went to go on. Well, this one just amused me, actually, very quickly. It's not a jingle or anything. It's a bloke called Jeff Higginbottom from Stockport up there in Cheshire. He said, by the way, did you know that Michael Foot and Patrick Moore have decided to make 1982 the International Year of the Dishevelled? Isn't that nice? But now, will you please welcome lovable, cuddly Uncle Alexis Sayle.
Thank you very much. As you probably know, I'm a Marxist-Leninist comedian, and the reason I am like this is because both my parents are actually in the Communist Party. I don't know if you can imagine that. Well, obviously you can't, because you're all sitting there going, I can't imagine that. I can't get my head around that concept, no. OTT, no. It was actually very difficult because we had to live with the proletariat on this tower block on an estate, you know. I'll tell you, it was so boring, our estate, right? It was so boring. Its twin town was Père Lachaise Cemetery. Like, we used to get all these exchange visitors, you know. But I'm actually very grateful to the Arts Council because it did a lot for us to help us cheer the place up. Big khaki murals painted by colourblind Mexicans on acids. And they used to send round street theatre groups to frighten people, like I'm doing to you, right? Now, I don't know if you know the theory behind street theatre, but it is, if you've got a white face, a red nose, and baggy trousers, you're going to be funny. Didn't work for Mussolini, did it? The worst thing about living in a tower block is when you get in the lift, right? Because when somebody gets in with you, you know they're going to say something stupid, you know, like, hot enough for ducks, eh? I mean, don't people talk cack, eh? Oh, I like this margarine because questions have been asked about it in the Australian Parliament. Cack, cack, bloody cack. Oh, that Shirley Williams has got nice teeth. I'm going to vote for her. Cack, bloody cack, bloody cack. Oh, all this dog shit, I blame Ken Livingstone, you know. Cack, bloody cack. It's even worse at bus stops. Oh, there's 18 going to town and only one come this way for a day and a half. Bloody cack. Oh, I've just had an operation to have me brain removed and have it replaced with a cockwork mouse. Oh, cack, bloody cack, bloody cack. And then you grab them by the throat and smash their head against the timetable. Still, it's a funny old world, really, isn't it, eh? Hey. Sit down. Sit down.
Come on, girls.
I think it's a good contract.
That's our kid. One, two, three. Come on, girls. Go. You're not in the right place, my darling. One more time. Oh, goddamn Jesus Christ! What did you do last night? 1, 2, 3, go! Let's dance. Come on, shake it now. Come on, you wonderful. Great, come on. Merde.
Oh, my God.
Wally's VG in the right place. Thank you, Mr. Segretti.
Well, here I am rummaging around the auditorium where I'm searching for the terrifying late-night luminous creature. Now then, this creature only comes out after 11 o'clock, and grapple me grape nuts, just look over here. There's loads of the little perishers. Here's one dirty, filthy, scruffy creature that is. Just look at all these horrible little creatures in here. They're all running around. It really is horrible. Now then, the way of identifying whether it's the late-night luminous is by its pungent scent, and blimey! This one really smells horrible. He smells of real ale and prawn cocktail crisps. It's absolutely revolting. But right now, it's time to beat your brains out.
heralds the arrival of one of our little cooks. Make sure you've got a postcard at home and a pencil. Sit down, he's the loser. Bloody losers week after week. Dear, oh dear. Right. Here we go, all this muck again. Yeah. That's right. This week, pencils and papers poised. Once again, we're going to test your ingenuity, get you to do some work. We do far more than enough on a Saturday night. We're going to show you 3 cartoons, and we want... Sit down, Helen, what are you doing?
Sorry.
We'll show you 3 cartoons. We want you to supply 3 captions of your own to go with them. I don't know if we can see them through all this. Let's have a little look. 3 cartoons. We want you to supply 3 captions to go with them. Fairly typical scenes of people watching OTT.
No, the one in the middle is quite definitely Bob Carolgees. I say one
No,
to
it's
another.
not.
I recognise that Bob anyway.
Fairly typical couple. They're lounging back, watching the balloon dance. Incidentally, those of you who are appalled by the balloon dancers, they're back next week, so make sure you don't watch next week, will you?
Yes, believe. More for me.
So have a look at that one. I don't quite know what's going on there, but we want you to supply a caption that vaguely explains what's happening.
Is this your first visit to a holiday camp, then?
Number 2, there you are. Give us some words to go with that. And number 2...
Self-explanatory cartoon, I think that one is.
That's self-explanatory. I've absolutely no idea what's happening there, but there must be somebody in there somewhere who ought to be saying something. There are 3 cartoons. We want some captions for each of those, please, to go with us. Special, a lot more banging in the audience again this evening. Special prize tonight, actually, a very nice boxed EP of the Beatles. Rather nice. Ooh, God, ooh. Rather nice, actually. It's got all of them inside, actually. Just about, well, it's every EP that the Beatles ever made in the many, many years that they were together, including all the things like Yesterday and She Loves You and Sound of Music, all those classics they did. Our address, of course, for this competition, please, postcards only. We must have them by Wednesday morning, otherwise it's too late to sort out the winners. But thank you very much. Our address, as usual, is OTT
Central
House, Broad Street, Birmingham, B12JP. That's OTT Central House. Well worth a second look. You could be here for hours. Central House, Broad Street, Birmingham. Understand that dirty, filthy little trampies we bring in after week after week. OTT Central House, Broad Street, Birmingham, B12JP. And with the official announcement this week that the number of unemployed in this country is now rising in fact has risen over the 3 million mark, we thought we'd have a look at jobs that might still hold out some hope, that might still be available to 1 or 2 of you, in a new feature called Careers 82.
Good evening and welcome to another in our series Careers 82. This week we're looking at the job of studio cleaner. I have with me this evening the studio cleaner for Central, Albert Grumbles. Good evening, Albert.
Mr. Grumbles to you, my girl. You just show some respect for your elders. That's the trouble, young people today. You forget, I had to spend my youth in the service of my country.
If I might interrupt you there, Mr. Grumbles, for
Oh,
one moment.
go on. Interrupt an old man, eh? Old man who didn't hesitate when the call of duty came. I was the first to go.
Mr. Grumbles, we're looking at people's careers. This week we're investigating the studio cleaner.
Investigating a fine thing. Me who fought in 10 world wars, not counting the last 2. I was hit on the head by a landmine, but did I panic? Did I lose my head? I did, but I still carried on fighting the Boers and single-handedly surrounded and captured a pillbox.
A pillbox, Mr. Grumbles?
Don't tell me you don't know anything about pillboxes, well. You modern missy with your modern contradictions. Going out, not wearing anything a brazier, and out jigger-bugging all night. I was run over by a panzer for girls like you. I bit my way through barbed wire. I cleared a way through the minefield for the cavalry by stamping on the mines. Was I angry and my leg blown off? Yes, I was hopping mad, but that's don't you start on me. I'm against
Mr. Grumbles, please. Can you tell me where the brush comes in?
Yes, I'll show you.
Yes.
The
Now then,
Germans
the brush.
saw the German pocket battleship coming at me with all its gun blazing. I shot out its headlights. I baited the captain. I took the whole crew prisoner. And you got the cheek and audacity to question my ability
there
to do
you
this
are.
job.
You see, the
I'm
studio
the
cleaner,
of this
a job
place.
not entirely without
People like
responsibility
you.
and
I fought
drama.
the Hun, I fought the
For more
Fuzzy Wuzzy
details,
at
write
Pearl
to
Harbor. And you
Careers
think you can come in
82
here and
OTT,
tell me a minus
Birmingham
national
B1
you're taking no notice.
2JP.
Absolutely no
Next
notice.
week, we'll be looking at the career of the refuse collector. Good night.
Don't you walk away from me, you brazen hussy. You come back here this instant. And you pick up all those clues and listen to straight line. Nice. By accident, look at us. Stand in place here. I don't see him like a mile. Get it all clear. Come back here. I haven't finished it. Put that balloon down. Finish that. Okay, get up. A look at the mess you've got. Straight instant. I didn't see like a mile. All right.
Hey, baby. Hal, if we ever get out of Mafeking, what are you going to do?
Well, I had an idea the other night. I thought if we ever do get out of this mess and get back to England, I thought I'd like to do something for the young lads of Britain. We'll dress them all up in uniform, put little scarves around their necks with little leather woggles on the end to hold them in place. I remember an island from years and years ago in the middle of Poole Harbour called Raunchy Island. We could all go there, all cook sausages round an open fire, all sleep together in big tents. We could all wear little short trousers and go there month after month for camp.
You'll get 15 years.
I said the joint was rocking, going round and round. They're reeling and rocking, what a crazy sound. And they never stopped rocking. It sounds so sweet, I had to take me a turn. Rolled out of my seat, I just had to burn. Started moving my feet, clapping my hands. I said the joint was rocking,
The Rolling Stones there. Isn't that amazing to see that very old tape? I'm glad you saw that, actually, because let that be a lesson to you. If you carry on spitting like that, your lips will end up like that. It's a disgusting habit you've got. I think it's revolting. Don't spit on the people. Just rub it in your head, be right. You want to do what? You want to do your blues dance? Just you've seen those fellas doing it. We'll do it a bit later. I'm going to sing a song. Yes, it's a song all about you. Here we go. Last night I had to take him out to answer nature's call. He couldn't find a lamppost, so he crept behind a wall. He stumbled on a pile of rags, the night was black as soot. He cocked his leg, a voice cried out, "Stop that, I'm Michael Foot." His name is Spade, I call him Spit, and he's the finest friend I ever had. His name is Spit, I call him Spit, and when he spits, he shakes his little head like mad. His name is Spit, yes, he's Spit, and he's the finest friend that money can buy. But when he clears his throat, you better grab your hat and coat, 'cause there's the one who spit right in your eye. I've asked you not to do that. Your balloon dance. All right, do the balloon dance. There's a balloon, you hold it, and you do your dance with it. Oh! Right. Sorry about that. Bit of saliva. What? I've had a hell of a time with him lately, you know. He keeps chasing lorries. It's not that he's mad, he's just crazy about Yorkies. I think a bit of Woodhouse training, a bit of Barbara Woodhouse training for you. Let's see, we'll try with one or two things. Stay. Heel. Sit. I said sit. You would not think a dog like this could have such nasty habits. He spits on cats and frogs and rats and even next door's rabbits. He mates with everything that moves and some are really rough. I said one night, that dog's a cat. He said that's near enough. I call him Spit, I call him Spit, and he's the finest friend I ever had. His name is Spit, I call him Spit, and when he spits he shakes his little head like mad. His name is Spit, you heard me spit, and he's the finest friend that money can buy. But don't stand by this fella without an umbrella, or else you'll take a fortnight to get dry. His name is Spit, I call him Spit, and he's the finest friend I ever had. Join in! His name is Spit, I call him Spit, and when he spits he shakes his little head like mad. His name is Spit, his name is Spit, and he's the finest friend that money can buy. And he goes by the gallon, he's like a water cannon, drenching everyone who passes by. But he goes by the gallon, he's like a water cannon, drenching everyone that passes by. Before you cross any busy main road, remember the golden rules. Stop, look, listen, and think. And if in any doubt, step back. There's actually a very good reason for me smoking the cigarette, because this gentleman here, what's your name?
Roy Phillips.
Roy Phillips. It's your fag, isn't it? It's just that you rang up and said, can I come in and do this trick where I blow smoke out of one of my ears? It seems a shame to waste it while he's there. It's a fairly useless talent. I suppose any other programme will want him. I can't see Crackerjack having him on. Good, yeah. Go on then, have a little, what do you do? Just sort of... Go on then. Go on. Oh, you're nice. Not with your girlfriend tonight, I know. Not surprised. Go on then.
Get on with it.
And very quickly over here, this gentleman over here is the... as you know, we always ask people to dress up as silly as they can. This one's certainly the silliest one we've ever seen. Look at that. The BPITA award. Well done. Doesn't he look silly? Let's have some bloke keeps ringing and ringing and ringing tonight saying, are we live? I can't believe that anybody can watch this chaos and honestly think it's not live. It is live, isn't it? Yeah, it is live. Have you got a time check upstairs? I make it about 12:03. What do you reckon?
It is now exactly 12:04.
12:04. There you are. Will you re-welcome the great Gustavo from Circus Lumiere?
Clothing, telephones, carpet, surgery, paper hats, trout, the colour blue, the colour green, mangoes, sets of suitcases, regular exercise, a decent pen, the ball, the fixture, the latest, the last, the least, the longest, trees, all reliable containers, the mind boggles. And so do its contents, which are my speciality for your pleasure tonight. Sir, what's your name, please? Peter! As I thought, Peter. Thank you, Peter. I'm getting in tune. All right, let's move on. Somebody here hasn't paid for their television license. Good God. You dirty bastard. Good Lord, I can't believe it. I thought I was broad-minded, friends, but this takes a strong stomach. You really want to do that? Yes, you do! Is it any wonder I get headaches? Should be in a zoo. Okay, I'm getting clarity. What's your name, madam? What? Huh? Correct. A frightening thing in the wrong hands. Yes, the mind is a marvelous thing, living as it does in a marvelous organ, the human brain. The human brain, what an organ to bear in mind. To conclude my demonstration this evening, I shall investigate and display the structure of this popular bodily part with the aid of this spoon. The cerebrum, or brain proper, occupies the front and upper portion of the skull. Comprising 2/3 of the brain structure, the cerebrum is soft and spongy, composed of masses of white nervous tissue covered by layers of grey matter. This part is divided into 2 lateral halves or hemispheres and is the seat of the faculties of memory and association. The vital function of memory retention is, countless memories and experiences are stored in this region. The complexity and sophistication of the storage system is so great as to confound the imagination. I want to go paddling. All memory has its basis in Peru, down boy, down. But as yet, neurologists have failed to fish paste. Failed to furnish the living room, as I was saying. Moving now through the cerebrum, we encounter the holiday camp. The paired spinal nerves, whose functions are to be considered. What a cheat. The olfactory nerve, the nerve of smell. Right, who opened the cheese, eh? Disgusting. Now then, these nerves, the glossopharyngeal, that's taste. Potatoes and petrol, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it last week already? The auditory nerve, the 7th, for hearing. Who said that? Was that you, Martin? Whereas the 2nd, the optic, is, Auntie May. Stone the crows, I thought you were dead. Is that beef you're wearing? Sounds like cut grass. We're now north of Vegas. So you bastard. The vocal nerve. Vocal nerve. I've gone deaf, or is it dark? Motor transmission via the medulla oblongata. The garter, the snake bite, all directions, cervical, dorsal, lumbar, bumba, bumba, bum. Bumba, bumba, bumba. The emotions, seat of all roots of seat.
There you are. Earlier on you had Beat Your Brains Out. That was called Eat Your Brains Out. Don't forget, next week the balloon dancers return. We just had the headlines arrive here in Birmingham. If you open tomorrow morning's papers, you'll see that once again there's no sign of an end to the dispute in the rail problem. Seem to be going on and on right through next week, according to all the forecasts this morning. And Margaret Thatcher's taken a hammering in today. That's Saturday's political speeches. You'll be reading about those tomorrow morning.
Parent battering is taking on an increase amongst out-of-work teenagers, says Parents Anonymous. Voluntary group offering guidance and advice to parents and report them.
And of course, the thing that's occupying all the papers tomorrow will be Kevin Keegan's marvellous goal this afternoon that took Southampton to the top of Division 1. Good night, we'll see you next week. Ta-da!